All right, Psalm 103, let's call this one Freedom Without the Side Effects of Time. Understanding that we all have a certain amount of time during the day and a certain amount of time on this earth to get things done. God willing, as we mentioned in previous Psalms, we use our platform or our opportunities in a way that would encourage God to either prolong our good years or to the degree that we are suffering, that he would, God willing, make our suffering small relative to the comfort he has ahead for us. In this psalm, that reminds me of Brother Thomas Foster back in Houston, Texas, who seemed to open almost every sermon every Sunday, if not every, seemingly almost every sermon every Sunday, with the first few verses from this psalm, which read, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." In this psalm that starts off talking about the benefits to our person, as we mentioned in the sermon on Psalm 103. It covers us from head to toe, internally and externally, in a way that, if we likened it to an insurance policy, keeps us free of the need to read the fine print to find out what is not covered on or in our person. But beyond covering us from head to toe in a way that gives us peace of mind, it covers us wherever we go within his dominion, understanding that with an insurance policy, even the best coverage for your person doesn't mean a whole lot if it doesn't travel well outside of your state. And so in God's kingdom, the blessings that he is talking about in Psalm 103 seem to be the kind that we don't have to search the fine print to figure out whether or not they cover all of us, and they cover all of us wherever we would need to go. And so understanding that peace of mind, the middle verses are going to help us understand, okay, if we are to fit in a place where we are completely covered wherever we go, understand that God has a role for each of us. And if we are going to fit in that kind of environment, we cannot represent a lapse in the coverage that other people need as much as we do. And even though he is willing to guide us into a fit with a place of that level of perfection, gently, he is only willing to lead us insofar as we are willing to be led. Going back to something we mentioned, the Psalms helping us to understand before. How is it that we are using our platform or our clout? Reminding me of a young man I got to play ball with a few weeks back. Play with him almost every week, but a few weeks back, we got a chance to hit the court at a time when it was relatively crowded, but only on court one, while we had free courts on court 2, 3, etc. And understanding on some courts, court one carries a certain level of prestige, even though nobody's really going to the league off of court one. But I told this young man, look, you got a certain level of clout that could help remove the stigma of playing on court 2. So likewise, Psalm 103 reminded me that the people God is often willing to work with are the ones who are willing to use their platform, their clout, or whatever they have at their disposal in promotion of things like truth, and in this case, efficiency, and understanding that it's just basketball. There was nothing wrong with court 2 beyond the stigma that had been placed on it. And so this young man, in bringing his clout over to court 2, alleviated the need to wait just because everybody wants to play on court 1. And so we could not only realize the truth that court 2, court 3, they run ball just as good as court 1, but beyond removing the stigma from those courts, he helped increase the efficiency for everybody who was looking to play ball that day, and God willing, in days going forward. And so likewise, to the degree that we, as we've said, have a certain degree of clout or whatever we have at our disposal, God cares about how we use our platform. And to the degree we use our platform to promote things like truth, and in this case, efficiency, we increase the chances that God will prolong our good years on that platform. So Psalm 102 and 103 are reminding us once again, while we often say God's best to you as you go forward in him, God willing, showing ourselves to be the kind of people whose success he would one day want to make timeless, lasting with him from everlasting to everlasting.